There you go. You're not going to see surf. Yeah, but we might. We might. I am a very good producer. I promise. I know what's going on. This is working. Kind of. Not really. Taking a little bit more time, Tsun are on this pick. I will tell you, the first 3 picks, they came through quickly. And that Twisted pick, it took a little while, but we are guaranteed seeing Twisted in this match. Valley is going to be G1. Don't worry, Idolus. We will jump over to another match if this one finishes quickly. And Surf will be the final lock-in for Tsun. Backflip as a decider. If it gets there, pretty spicy. Could be enjoyable as a final pick. So there you go. GeForce, Cosmos, Edge, and Twisted, the guaranteed picks for this one. And then Valley, Surf, and Backflip to potentially finish things off. Hopefully we make it past 4 maps this time. That'd always be nice. We love to see more of this beautiful map pack that I'm sure people spent hours slaving over, creating, just tweaking every element. Ignore the fact that multiple elements have been changed since the maps have been released. They were perfect. Are we 1 minute late? I don't think. The pick ban is due to start on the hour, and the pick ban did start on the hour. So, I don't know. I think Zera's, you're mauling a little bit over nothing. Who built Valley? I don't know. I haven't gone, because obviously a lot of the mappers are figured out after a while, or they do reveal themselves. I have not gone to seek out that information just yet. But we'll figure it out. I'm sure some people already know. SoftDB built all of them. You're absolutely right. Thank you, Penguin, for your insight. Map 1 is going to be GeForce, and, well, Gwen held a lot of world records in Stage 2 of the Trackmania World Tour this year, and Gwen looked very quick on a lot of the maps. Untouchable, some would say. How practiced is Gwen coming into the World Championship remains the question. And it's a question that we are about to answer because we are underway with our first match. Our first map of the match. G1 versus Tsun. And it is all 4 cars. Well, 2 of them in beautiful colors. An Enner in, what is that? Moldova? I don't know. Interesting. First jump, and Enner is coming from the back, but is going quickly. Binks a little bit slow through there. The landing onto the bobsleigh, not ideal. And the transition onto road worse. So it is Gwen versus Feed and Enner over the rest of the track. The world record here by Paco is legitimately very, very quick. I'll be very impressed if we're approaching it in this one, and if G1 can get up to speed on it quickly. Be nervous, I think, for the rest of these teams. It is nice and fast through those first couple of turns. Gwen is going to be leading the way for the time being. Feed is right there alongside. 50.893 through that checkpoint is, I believe, quite fast from Gwen and Feed. Although I think we have seen low 50s from there. Enner is falling off that completely. It's Feed and Gwen is looking quicker through this identity at the moment. One more sign to go. And Gwen looking to cross that line in first place, 102.87, and then 112.9 across the line. It's a good first round from Gwen, and that mistake from Enner allows Binks to pick up 3rd place. It's a round win from G1. Tsun are looking competitive, though. Did read that entire copy pasta that Twiggy put into Nightbot before we went on, while we were during our short break there. I hate it. I considered just ending the stream. I'll say it. It scares me. Gwen is going to take every world record. It's a prediction I kind of want to see come true because it would just be so fun to watch. But I think we're a little bit slow, even just at the start here from Gwen, for it to be true of this round. Feed currently leading the way. Gwen not far behind, but a few tenths behind. That's up on that entry very late. So losing a little bit of speed behind. All players going for this strat around the outside. It was very sloppy, I think, from Binks, who has lost a lot of speed. Bit of a slide out from Enner. Is still going to be there, but has lost places as a result. Enter close behind, going much deeper on that turn, taking a lot more of the penalty sand, but traveling less distance means sacrificing speed, and that shows as the G1 players try to hunt down Feed. Gwen crashes though, Feed crashes as well. Gwen will be ahead of Feed, keep an eye on that. Binks looking to not make a mistake. Low speed for Enter. Is Enter just going to go for the safe Finn? No, still risking it around the outside, still going to make it. PB for Binks, Enter in second. Gwen is a long way behind, both players are, but is ahead of Feed, so unless there's a mistake from Gwen, it's another round win for the players from G1. They sit at 4-2. Yep, that's a round of the World Championship, alright. That makes sense. Mistakes are there, G1 are settling in, but it is G1 who look to have the pace, as they have players winning both rounds with very solid times already. And so if the mistakes get cleaned up, unless it's Tsun who do it quickly and long before G1 can do it themselves, and G1 on GeForce are starting to look like the team that this favors. EP. I forgot to edit the title, didn't I? We'll get there. I'm good at this. Nobody worry. Meanwhile, in the round, ignore the fact that the frames are dropping. I'm editing the title. There we go. Feed has crashed. That's what's going on screen. Enter has also crashed, and G1 are looking to pick up an ace for themselves. This round is looking like it should be in the 112s from Binks as well, but with both players a little ways behind now on Tsun, can afford to ease off the gas a little bit. 1 second is the gap back to Enter. It's not big enough, you know, to take the safe finish, but it should be plenty to go safe enough on the sign. There is a 112.5 from Binks. That is quick. Gwen, 7/10 behind as well, and G1 pick up an ace and they move up to 7. 5 points clear of Tsun. Will now need an ace between the end of the map and now. Fabs, I'm not letting you do any jobs of modding. Where have the name tags gone? Oh, we're all just too close together. Classic. There they are. Feed sitting in third place at the moment, overtaking Binks, who has been a little bit slow through that bobsleigh a couple of times, but will not crash this time around. Feed and Enter, they need an ace if they want to get back into this map. Getting it sooner rather than later leaves the pressure a little bit lower. They sit in first and second for the time being. Looking through this bobsleigh, it's going to be good speed from both Feed and Enter, but Feed is absolutely going to slide out. Binks did as well, though, a little bit more unexpected. Feed is going to be sitting just behind. It was Gwen actually who slid out, excuse me, that's my mistake, as Binks is going to hold the lead over Feed. Again, different lines for G1 and Tsun through that final turn downhill, as the players from G1 look for more speed than the players from Tsun, and it favors them into the identity, but the identity favors Tsun as Binks falls off. Enter and Feed moving to an uncontested first and second place. Enter and Feed look to get an ace back. Enter, you gotta make that finish line, buddy. Enter's not gonna make that finish line. Gwen finishes in second. Binks looking for third place, but Binks has respawned again. Enter is clean through into third place, and Enter could pick up third place. Enter will pick up third place. Alright, sure. Enter will mean, well, Enter making that mistake on the final sign means that it's not the ace for Tsun. That means they do still need an ace between now and the end of the map. Win still will not cut it. And I don't know, I feel like maybe that was the best chance that they were going to be given by G1. How much will that cost them over the course of this track? Just for the moment, tuck that round into the back of your mind. Keep it there. Nurture it. Remember it if this match ends up being very close in favor of G1, because that looked like the point where Tsun could have won GeForce. Of course, it isn't over yet. They still have the chance to get an ace on any of these rounds, but they are running out of rounds to do it, because if G1 pick up even a win here, that's it. We're done. We go map 2. Oh, it's a little bit slow from Enter, but it was slower from Gwen, so it's Binks up into second place. Speed has dropped back a little bit. Now this line, again, at the end, more speed for both G1 cars as we enter the identity, and it's both G1 cars sitting behind both cars from Tsun. Who holds on to the lead. It won't be Gwen. It's a big mistake from Gwen. It's a crash as well from Feed, but it's not a big enough one to drop all the way back. Just slow down the hill. Binks chasing down Enner. A win for Tsun is good, but it's not good enough. Feed will just give up and go for that safe finish. It makes sense. A PB from Enner means a win for Tsun. It's G1 up to 9 points, though. Tsun sit on 5, and now they need an ace and then a win in order to just tie things.
Victory.
Okay. Deep breaths, everyone. This is fine. Is it fine? Maybe not if you're a Tsun fan. It is an Essen score, 9-6. Tsun looking for that ace. And we said tuck that round away where they threw away the ace, where Enner made a mistake on literally the last sign of the map. You may be able to pull it out sooner rather than later, because if they had picked up that ace, this scoreboard looks very different in this round. At the moment, G1, well, they've taken this final round by the scruff of the neck. They sit in first and second place. They have occasionally looked a little bit shaky on this turn, but we have not seen anyone hang a wheel around the outside, and this time around, everyone is relatively clean around that dirt slide. Don't worry, the ad will surely end before the end. It's a great reason to subscribe to Twiggy's channel anyway. Don't worry about it. Binks and Gwen hold first and second place. As long as one of them gets a top 2, they're A-OK. And surely at that point, both of them cleanly through the first sign. Both of them will manage to get across the line. Binks and Gwen holding it still, holding it around that last sign, into that finish line one more time. It's a new PB for Binks, it's a new PB for Gwen, a 112.4 to win the round, and G1 take map 1, 12-6. And we kind of questioned, how is the pace going to look for G1? Because the pace for Orel and Hugo coming in as one of the teams that was qualified automatically to this stage wasn't mind-blowing. That was quick. Paco's time on that map, a 112.292, is pretty insane compared to the pace we have been seeing from pretty much every other team in the wildcard. And G1 were both getting pretty close to it. They were both a tenth and a half to maybe a couple of tenths away from it. And I would say with relative consistency. That was a time that looked repeatable for them. That was their map pick. That was GeForce. Can they repeat it as we head into a map their opponent selected as we head onto Cosmos as our second map? G1 in the driver's seat, most definitely on map 2. They'll need to hold it. Shenanigans, the potential for shenanigans removed as our favorite wallbang has gone. It's no longer present. Pour one out, chat. Oh, there goes Feed. I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing at the fact that I once said pour one out on a broadcast for an official Rocket League cast, and I got reprimanded for it because apparently that's a reference to alcohol. So, I mean, they're not wrong, but it was very funny to get reprimanded for it. The score on the previous map was 12-6 in favor of G1, and that is a crash from Binks. Enner sits in second place, and Feed will move to just behind Binks on this one as well, taking a very low jump onto that plastic. As Gwen will be sitting in first place for the time being. I'm going to jump on board with Enner because these are the positions that we will see the most from going into this identity. Eye in the sky. Gwen leads from Enner. It's Binks in third place, and it is going to be Enner holding on cleanly. Binks is getting caught potentially by Feed. Look at that time between them.
Victory.
Oof. What was that? 15,000 separate Binks and Feed at the finish line, but Binks does hold on, and G1 regained the lead in the first round of map 2. Don't drink and drive unless you're paying khaki, because then it is encouraged. Listen, I'll agree with the sentiment. Easiest way to grind out a khaki map, you'd have to imagine. Gwen, was there a wall touch there? It didn't really look like it. No, it's kept the speed, Feed the player the mistake, and uh-oh. Things have gone sideways quickly for Tsun in round 2 of Cosmos. Kind of did ask, how would Gwen and Binks look on a map that maybe they hadn't selected? Are they as practiced on the entire map pack, or is it just, hey, we know what we want to play and these are the maps that we've poured all our time into? Right now, they're looking pretty clean. They're looking pretty practiced. We'll see what the time looks like at the end of this round, because it is pretty clean from Binks so far. Although with both of their opponents over a second and a half behind, there is absolutely potential to do a bit of lifting and coasting to preserve that pace for later rounds and not stress too much about this one. Gwen and Binks looking pretty good on Cosmos. Once more through this identity. No mistakes in the first round. No big mistake in this second round. Enter also crashed. No way does Gwen get away with that. Gwen will get away with that. Oh, that's lucky. That's a little bit lucky. But Gwen will still take second place. And that is an ace for G1. Tsun cannot afford to let rounds like that go. They kind of did on the last round as well, or on the last map, back on GeForce. That mistake from Enner to give up the ace at the line, they're just not taking full advantage of their opportunities, and you need to be. When you're playing against players of Gwen and Binks' caliber, when you're playing against a team of the quality of G1, mistakes like that won't happen often, and you need to take advantage when they do. Unfortunate then for Tsun. Little bit lucky for G1, but you do make your own luck, and G1, they've made enough luck for 5 full points from 2 rounds. A scoreline that it's very difficult to come back from in this format. Said it a lot throughout the Trackmania Challenger League this year, but 5-1, if you start off that strong, it becomes very hard for your opponents to catch you. It's a mistake from Enner. Will manage to make it over that jump, so the mistake doesn't compound, but is still a long way behind. And unless there is another catastrophic error hitting one of those poles from Gwen and Binks, you have to feel that Enner is out of this one. It's down to Feed to maybe push and try and catch, but we've seen the risks of that as well. It's safer from Gwen, it's safer from Binks, maybe too safe. It's safe enough, as Binks will finish a half a tenth ahead of Feed. And Feed, even with that, sets a PB, but it is not great. That was Gwen with a new world record as well. 112.8 is... Jesus Christ. You asked for it. Gwen delivers. World record here on Cosmos. Another ace, and G1, they're starting to run away with this match a little bit. Oh, and we have Epos Suck in chat. Everything's coming up New Alaic. Listen, Penguin, we know you here in chat now. Even if you are only a random penguin, you've been here enough. Enner leads the way from Binks, but not for long. Binks will regain that lead pretty quickly, as Feed is sitting in 3rd place at the moment. This is on pace, I would say, for a draw for Amino Tsun. Not Amino Tsun, it's just Tsun. I made fun of Twiggy a lot for that last weekend, and now look at me doing it again. How the turns table. But a draw isn't good enough. Just straight up, a draw is not good enough for Tsun at the moment. They need multiple aces in order to pull this map back from the brink. And they do not look in danger of getting them at the moment, as Enner and Feed enter it together. A mistake here from either of them ends this map immediately, but they will not make it. Binks crosses the line in 1st place with a 113.272. That's also very quick. Gwen is a couple of seconds behind, but listen, we could have predicted that. We knew that after the world record last round that Gwen was going to crash some point early on and end up a couple of seconds down. So expect Gwen to be back on it this round to set another very strong time and get us out of this map. Will Gwen beat Binks? Yeah, I think so. We'll predict it. I mean, sure, easy prediction now that we're a few turns in and Gwen is a couple of tenths ahead. But listen, maybe we can say that we did it early. Gwen, Enner, Feed, and Binks. That's the order we drive in. That is an order that is not good enough for Tsun. They need both cars in front of Gwen, but it's Gwen. How do you do that? Well, maybe with a mistake from Gwen. There you go. Question answered. Enner and Feed move into 1st and 2nd. Easy as you like. Now, they just need Gwen to do that in a few more rounds. They also need to not make any mistakes themselves through the final corners of this map. 1st and 2nd, holding it for the moment. They would move to 5. They would still need another ace after that to keep themselves in the game. And somehow, Gwen is back in it. Feed and Enner, they got 1st and 2nd. They started to safe. They've safed too much. And all of a sudden, this is maybe an ace back the other direction. Now, Binks will crash. Gwen will hold on for 2nd place. The mistake means nothing. And G1 will close out the map anyway. We don't need to time out Zeres. It's fine. You can make fun of me all you want. That's your last warning. G1 are up 2-0 in the match and looking very solid. We questioned if the pace was going to be there on every track. Yes. Yes, the pace is there on every track. It's a world record for Gwen as we leave Cosmos. And we get into what I think is my favorite map of the pack, what is a lot of people's favorite map of the pack, at least to spectate. And I guess we'll find out how G1 feel about it shortly. We're moving on to Edge. Definitely one of the... It's the most RPG style track of the pack, right? That's where my love comes for it. I know Turbo spoke about it recently on the Keeping Track podcast with producer Thomas, aka Sai. A great podcast. Everyone should check that out. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Really interesting. And Turbo, for a similar reason, you know, liking these RPG style tracks, is a big fan of this one. Enner makes a mistake at the start, and it's up to Feed then to deny. Binks will respawn as well, but Enner is double respawned, and so Binks is safely in third place nonetheless. Feed and Gwen then, to show us what kind of pace these teams have. Enner will double respawn back as well. Nobody look at what's going on at the back. Nobody pay attention. Nobody pay attention to Feed. We're going to just stay on board with Gwen. Gwen will get a world record this round, guys. It's okay. Enner's double respawned again. Oh, Jesus, what's happening? Oh, dear. Feed has not respawned as much, and so is at least closer. Enner's respawned again. Maybe we will get a single car ace. That's how it goes, you know. If only one car crosses the line, it does count as an ace. Gwen, 55.199 through the final checkpoint. World record, 104.275. Pace by Gwen is a 104.638. That is quick and entirely unnecessary on this round. Feed will cross the line in second. As things stand, that is a round win for G1. And Enner is a minute behind and will not be crossing the line, which means this will be a round win for G1. Uh-oh. I think is all you can really say for Enner after that round. That's a little bit spooky. You have to hope that that was an outlier. But here's Enner at the back again. Ooh dear. This was G1's map pick, and Feed and Enner, I think it's showing that maybe they would not have come to this map if they had a choice. They banned Dive. I want you all to keep that in mind. Dive has been a little bit of a boogeyman for all of our wildcard teams, or for most of our wildcard teams, I should say. Airwalkers did pick it in our previous match, but this is the risk that you run. When Dive is your ban, when you have one map perma ban because you're just not practicing it, and then you're still less practiced on some other maps, you become very open to exploitation in that pick ban phase. And G1 are doing some exploiting right now because they are a long way ahead on pace. Gwen is on world record pace right now. Absolutely on world record pace right now. The pace from Gwen is a 104.202. That's a world record. Binks is only 2 tenths behind. And Enner and Feed are nowhere to be seen. Whew. It's 5-1. Can we just play back the clip of me talking about 5-1 the last time around? About what happens when you get 5-1 ahead, about how difficult it is to come back from? Because yeah, hey, that's exactly where we are again, and this time around, Feed and Enner won't even wait until the left-hander to make the mistakes. They crash on the first transit. Binks? Binks' controller disconnected, don't worry about it. I have 10 more push-ups to do. We'll do them after this map. Binks, I don't know what's going on with Binks in this round, man. Sure. Enner is catching up, Feed is in second place, and Gwen is... Like, Gwen is actually just doing prac rounds at the moment. This is full practice. Like, just vibing, under absolutely no pressure. Are you telling me there was 10 more redeemed somewhere earlier? How many push-ups have been redeemed? Uh-oh. Let's go to the end of the queue here. Yeah, it's only 10 push-ups. And a dark mode. Oh boy. Let's see. I think we still have the filter set up for dark mode. We can do that. Yep. There we go. Dark mode. We're in it. Feed got a 105.652. If Binks gets across the line in third place, which seems unlikely, It will be a round win for G1, but Enner will get a... It's going to be a round win. It's going to be a draw. It's a round win. They timed out. Enner, what's doing, man? Didn't get across the line. And, yeah. It's maybe for the best that we were in dark mode there. Shield your eyes, everyone, from one of the, hopefully, messiest wins that you will see in a round during this World Championship. That was spicy. Gwen and Binks sitting first and second place again. Alright, Fu, you get 1 second of dark mode. Ready? Oh, and it's gone. Blink and you miss it. Gwen and Binks, they sit in first and second place. And we're up to 20 push-ups. Excellent. Twiggy's not here, and so those are all from me. Excellent. Feed and Enner have both respawned. Excellent. Double respawn for Feed. Gwen and Binks, an ace here closes out the map, puts them 3-0 up. Seems like the most likely outcome to me. Well, Binks respawn, so maybe no longer quite as likely. Is this another world record for Gwen? I think he's a little bit behind the previous pace. Nope. Gwen improves by 0.2. Okay, Gwen will set another world record and has improved it by what? Nearly a second over the course of this map? Or by 0.4? I don't know. Something like that. Either way, Gwen's insane. And I think we can all agree. Binks will finish in second place. That's the ace. G1 move on to map 4 on match point. And that means it's time to try and do 20 push-ups really quickly. Hang on, we'll do this. We'll do this. Yeah. Alright. Here we go. Just so we don't miss anything, and we'll get 20 push-ups done very nice and fast for you all. 40. Jesus. Christ, we're doing 20 now. We'll do another 20 after this map. I gotta pace them out a little bit. Someone keep track. We're currently at 20 push-ups on the counter. Oh, it's too many. The camera's not facing me anymore, but we'll sort that out in a minute. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, it's good enough. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Lord. Alright, back to the gameplay screen. Here we go. 20 more push-ups to do, and one more map for G1. They've looked incredibly good so far. Gwen has set 2 new world records, although didn't get a chance to crash after the last one. So expect a crash from the first round here from Gwen. Although maybe not. Gwen is just looking very quick at the moment. Enner sending it into this turn. Gwen and Binks get the better exit, but it has allowed Enner to catch up just a little bit. Sitting just behind Gwen and Binks, but again, insanely practiced, this G1 pair at the moment compared to anything else we've seen. Meanwhile, Into the Breach are a little ways ahead in their match as well. So at the moment, yeah, we questioned how the full Grand League teams would do. Well, is the answer. Perhaps unsurprisingly. Binks and Gwen around the final corner here through the identity of Twisted, and Binks is a little bit slow, but there's not enough track left, and that will be an ace, and it'll be a new world record for Gwen. Count it, that's 2 rounds in a row on 2 maps and 2 world records for Gwen. It's just, you know, just scary. Fake world record? I still... Did this map get changed as well? Oh, I don't know. Well, Enner will crash. Gwen passing off the curse of getting a world record and crashing. On to Enner this time around. Oh, Jesus, we're up to 30 push-ups. It'll be fine. Oh, feet touches. Potentially another ace in the cards here for G1. Feed is still close behind, but really not close enough to be making a big push. There really isn't a huge amount of time to be gained between here and the identity. Little bit here. That is potentially about the end of it. Now, Feed has managed to gain that time back a little bit, is closer than the 3/10 that were lost, and has actually managed to fully catch up to Gwen entering this turn. Really good driving from Feed, incredibly quick through that one. Now trying to push through the identity, maybe over pushes in the first turn, around the final turn, just about even with Gwen, should have the speed, but Gwen gets across the line, and Binks is right there with them. It's another ace for G1, and this time it comes off the back of some determined driving to hold off, and even more determined push by Feed at the back half. We are going to... I do have some weights here, so some of these push-ups I have the feeling are going to get converted into like bicep curls or something instead. And maybe we can do some sit-ups too. Because my arms will literally fall. There are 2 more days of matches to go here. Oh dear. This is a close round so far. No mistakes early from anyone. Means that Feed holds the lead from the players on G1. And we did see Feed with a really strong end last time around. Now how much of that did come down to G1 feeling like they had a lead and could safe a little bit? I guess we're about to find out. Right now G1 have regained that lead. They are looking fast. Gwen with a very wide line through there. Feed with maybe a better entry into this turn last time around. Was able to catch back up, and it will be better again. I think Gwen full crashed. Gwen did full crash. So it's Feed and Enter just behind Binks. Can Binks hold on all the way to this finish line? It looks like the answer is yes. Clean from Binks. A new world record of 103.982. We're down into those 103s. And Enter and Feed both PB, but G1 will keep a draw and will move to match point. It's true, I am already 200 kilos of pure muscle and pizza. That's a mistake early on from Gwen. So the ace, maybe a little bit unlikely here, will be another round in this match yet, but it does feel a little bit like G1 toying with their prey at this point, as they are 3 maps up, 6 points clear, and Tsun, we're in this position in, well, pretty much every map at this point, but they need an ace or 2, probably 2, in order to get back into this map. And it is Binks on Twisted, who has, I think, been more consistent than Gwen, and has been, well, technically faster than Gwen as well so far. On Binks to deny Feed the comeback in this round. Gwen is catching Enter. Gwen will catch up with Enter entering into this identity, but we'll jump on board with Feed and Binks because this is the battle for first place, and it's Feed with a really nice line through there, carrying speed, but Binks will hold on for first, and Gwen will not manage to beat out Enter as Binks goes faster again over the previous round. G1 move a point closer to closing this one out. Whew. God damn, these guys are fast. Oh, little touch from Enter, but it's okay because there's a booster there, so you survive. It does look like Gwen has been taking really different lines through these kind of speed drift sections from everyone else, which has been kind of interesting to see. Has been setting up a lot wider a lot of the time. Was there a touch from Feed? Maybe, but if there was one from Enter as well. They both drop further away from Gwen and Binks. With 3 or 4 tenths to play with, need a win, but an ace would be better in order to close this match out. Gwen and Binks, final couple of turns, the identity to go. Sitting first and second, they have not lost positions in this identity all map long. It would be silly to do it now. Gwen and Binks round the final turn. There's a touch from Feed, and they will cross the line together with Binks going faster again, and Gwen only 18 thousandths behind. G1 are nuts. Good luck to whoever plays them in the next round. That's spooky. Also, I've apparently set my camera pointing way too high, so I'm just casting from down here now. That's nice. That is going to be, well, the end of our second match of the evening, but we do still have one more match to go. There is another match, and that is going to be Solary versus GXP, with the winner moving on to face Airwalkers for a qualification spot for Montpellier. And the loser dropping down to face off against Orel and Hugo in the lower bracket of that round, of that group, which is Group A, for those keeping score. What do we have? 40 goddamn push-ups? All right. How do we feel? Trade offer. 20 push-ups and 40 sit-ups. Good deal? Fair? Yeah, let's do a quick poll. Let's see how things go. Meanwhile, I'll just double check if the other match is still ongoing. Does anyone know if the Into the Breach match ended? It sounded like they were ending it they were ending that quite quickly as well. 40 push-ups and 40 sit-ups. 30 push-ups and 40 sit-ups. It's still going. All right, let's just jump over and see if we can find that really quick. Whoop. We might as well have some gameplay before I have to do it. Oh, it is still ongoing. And alternate attacks, hang on a second, are up, and we're playing our favorite map. We're on Edge. And also, yes, vote on the poll as to what kind of punishment I go through. Wostyle has made a mistake in this round. Scandir sits behind Afi and Mime. You can see that new world record up there by Gwen. These players trying to drive against that at the moment. An ace here for Into the Breach puts us onto the position where we could have arrived just in time for the final round. Good pace from Scandir, just in front of Afi. It'll come down to the final couple of transitions, and Afi full crashes. Mime will get a PB with a 104.6. Can Afi finish ahead of Wosal? The answer should still be yes. And it will be a round win. And this map is now tied at 8-8. Round win for either team wins the map, and for ITB that's match point. For alternate attacks it is only track point, but it puts them on the path to the reverse sweep. It's a long road, but it is one we have seen people walk in this format before. I believe it was Sprout who managed to do it first, is that right? I believe it was. I know they definitely did. 40 push-ups and 40 sit-ups. Alright, well, I guess I didn't ask for it at all, but it's what we're doing. For now, chat, I need you to focus on this match, because goddamn, look at this round. Look at how close this is. A draw is the only thing that keeps us going. We are functionally in overtime. Mime has respawned. Afi has lost a second. Scandir and Wosa sit in first and second place, and potentially bringing us to map 5. Whew. This is tense. I'm not speechless, not quite, but getting there. Scandir, no! Scandir with the full crash. Wosal in first place. It's going to be Afi in second. We trust, yes, Afi in second. Mime is still behind Scandir. This is it. This is still the win for alternate attacks if Scandir makes the line, and Scandir will make the line. This match moves to map 5. Just throwing a little bit for content. And, well, it'll keep going for the moment. I forgot to angle my camera down. There we go. Yep, maybe. Close enough. Good enough. Map 5, I am pleased to inform you, is going to be Twisted. Oh dear. Yeah, the leaves are magic. It's, I am actually in the jungle. I would never use a green screen. Here we go. Twisted. Again, we see a world record set in the map that we just left. As Binks did make it through. Are the leaves edible? I've never tried. I have to imagine the answer is yes. Can Into the Breach still close it out? Into the Breach are the blue team here. That means that here on map 5, this is a map that they picked. They should, in theory, be the team more comfortable on it. Yeah, Abba, and I believe the phrase is, anything is edible. Once. Afi is in front of Wosal. Wosal is in front of Mime. How long will that last? The answer was 1 turn. Mime has overtaken Wosal. It's Afi and Mime in a 1-2 for Into the Breach at the moment. Looking to start things off right with an ace. You really do want to close things out now if you are into the breach. You don't want to head to map 6, back to an alternate attacks pick. As they start to make a comeback, the pressure only mounts. Into the breach, this first round to set the tone for Twisted. Mime and Afi battling Wosile, and Wosile, not even really a mistake, just a missed line, but Afi is slow, and Wosile, by 100th, has pipped Afi to the line, limited the damage, and into the breach in a very close round. Take the win, but it's only 2-1. Incredible round. By God, I hope it continues from here. It may be 3-0, or maybe 3-1 as things stand now. It was 3-0 in maps when we joined. But alternate attacks are most definitely providing a fight here, and I have to imagine that it was at least somewhat close on some of the previous maps as well. How close? Well, only those of you who were watching another stream will know. But that's a full crash from Wosile. Oh dear. Scandir is also far enough behind. They have to feel it's going to be difficult to make a late push on Mime and Afi in this round. And into the breach could move up to 5-1. Mime doesn't get the best transition there, but it's worse from Scandir as he clips an inside corner. Mime and Afi pull a long way away. And unless there's a full crash here, surely it's done. Surely it's doomed. Surely into the breach. Move up to 5-1. Very tense. They're safe. They're safe, right? Yeah, Scandir's too far away. It's a PB from Afi. 104.161 is a very good time. And Mime, even with a small couple of touches, even with small errors, still sits okay. And that is 5-1 for Into the Breach and alternate attacks. Well, they now need an ace. Well, not quite. We're not at the point where they need an ace. But if they lose the next round, we sure as hell are. You don't really want to be ever in the position of needing an ace. That's the only option you have to get back into the match. Afi and Mime, they just look quick on Twisted at the moment. These speed slides are working for them. So they pull out a very small gap over Scandir, a slightly larger gap over Wosile, who's made a mistake and has dropped 6/10 down. And 8-1, if 5-1 is difficult to recover, 8-1 is impossible to recover. Mime, though, will make a mistake and allow Scandir through. We're not quite that dire just yet. Afi holds on to the lead. Mime has dropped behind Wosile, and it's Scandir versus Afi for the lead. Oh, that's aggressive from Scandir, really pushing, gaining, but loses traction a very small amount into that last turn. Dropping slightly behind Afi, but pushing still, pushing hard in front of Afi and all the way to the line. Scandir takes the round win. Wosile, unfortunately, had made a mistake somewhere behind, and what could have been a round win, what could have been a closing of the gap, keeps it at 4 instead. That's tough. We talked in our last match about missed opportunities, how you can't afford them when a team is looking as good as some of these Grand League teams are, and that could be punishing for alternate attacks. This could be punishing for alternate attacks as well, as Wosile gets off to a very slow start. Scandir is battling Afi. Mime is just behind, but it's the weight of the world on Scandir right now. Wheel to wheel through this middle section of the track. 3,000ths at that checkpoint. Feels like it'll be similar at the next one as well. 400ths is the gap. Scandir holding on to that lead, but only by a hair. And there it is, Afi overtaking slightly down that hill, but they are trading places like it is Pokemon cards in a playground. Afi holding it into the identity then. Scandir needing to push. We saw the push last time, we saw it work, but pushing this time seems to have dropped Scandir a little way behind. The traction not kept. Afi will hold on to the lead. Mime will take third, and that was an incredible time as well from Afi. Into the breach. Move up to 8 points. Alternate attacks remain on 3. And if you were wondering, yes, we are very much in the position where alternate attacks need an ace. In fact, they need probably 2. Coffee pasta, man. Has Wosile crashed? Well, maybe not crashed, but has definitely touched. Falls behind all 3 of the other cars. Into the breach. This is the time when you start to breathe easy a little bit. It starts to feel like victory is within reach, but you can't really let off the gas just yet. Maybe you can a little bit now. Wosile with another crash. And Afi and Mime, if they just get these cars across this line in this position, that's it. They move to an upper bracket final, an upper bracket qualification match within their group. This group also playing host to Big and Team BPP, who will be playing in one of the matches just after this. I believe Turbo is going to be streaming that one. So Into the Breach looking to set up a date with the winner of that match. I think they've done enough. Scandir's not going to be able to catch at the line. Afi and Mime will cross in first and second. It's an ace. And it is a qualification date locked in for Into the Breach. Alternate Attacks, they gave them a good fight on Edge. It looked close in the first couple of rounds here on Alternate Attacks on Twisted. But ultimately, it's not quite enough. They drop 4-1, and the pace just shows. The experience maybe shows as well. Into the Breach are incredible. And it's good. A slightly new look Into the Breach as well. I didn't mention that. You know, the fact that it is Mime and Afi, very exciting. And a team that I think is legitimately scary heading into this World Championship too. Mime has looked great all season, and this could be the chance to really show what he's made of.